Is the Ukraine stalemate continuing, or has Ukraine actually made a breakthrough? I'm Paul, U.S. Army combat veteran. It's September 4th, 2023. This is your daily Ukraine update. Let's get into it. Okay, taking a look at the combat map, there's actually been minimal changes. This is, again, updated as of yesterday afternoon. You can see no real updates to Robtina. In fact, the only update to the map is south of Bakhmut. You can see Ukrainian forces pushing the Russians back out of Klachivka and advancing into the town. So again, I think we're seeing quietly this VDV unit is actually getting pushed back, and the liberation of Klachivka may piece by piece actually be not too far away. Again, this isn't a priority for Ukrainian forces, and so I think it's probable that there's not going to be a big hurry to make this happen. I think it's going to be done at a sustainable pace. And mostly, I think this is about attriting down, again, one of the VDV units that's stationed here, right? These VDV units are generally pretty good. So I think for Ukraine, just pinning them in place, preventing them from being redeployed to support Verbova or other fighting in Zaporizhzhia is kind of a benefit in and of itself. Other than that, there's not really any changes to the front line. When we look over at the combat map, you can see that Russian forces have conducted something like 30 combat engagements, but they only denote a counterattack in the Priutine area, in Zaporizhzhia, and south of Donetsk city. Again, Ukraine remaining pretty tight-lipped about its operations in and around Robtine and Verbova. So when we look again at the reporting from War Mapper, this is some of the more like rumory type stuff. You could see 17 hours ago, War Mapper posted that Ukrainian forces do appear to be operating again in a sort of intermittent fashion or contested fashion in and behind some of the key Russian defensive lines. You can actually see here is one of the main lines of defense, a second one back here, and you could see that Ukrainian forces are really almost into Verbova proper, which would demarcate the second line, the actual fortification line of this first line of defense, right? To see what I'm talking about, you can pull up this fortification map here, and you can see that they are operating again into this territory right here. I think this demarcates the second line, and you can see Ukrainian forces operating here and in small ways right out here as well. So this second line, the reporting is, this is actually the line where there's troops. This first line is actually a tank ditch fortification network. So you are seeing, at least by some reports, Ukrainian forces are occupying some of the heights around these fortifications, and that Russian forces, according to some rumor and some reporting, have actually withdrawn to behind these lines. As we talked about, this would be significant because it would put Ukraine in control of these really essential Russian defenses that again, Ukrainians are reporting that Russian forces spent about 80% of their time constructing this first line of defense, and then the remaining fallback lines, they only spend about 20% of their time constructing. So grinding through this area is a monumental task, and it seems like it's not the end is in sight, but the end of the beginning may be in sight. Guys, if you've been on the streams or on the channel for any length of time, you know I recently launched something I've been working on for almost a year. This is Strike Gum, pre-workout gum. If you're a fitness guru or someone who likes working out, and if you're like me, by the end of the day, you're pretty tired, you're looking for a way to get a quick surge of energy, I made Strike Gum for you guys. It's manufactured right here in the USA in Denver. We've basically taken the equivalent of 1.5 shots of espresso and concentrated it into a single piece of gum, along with some alpha GPC, a powerful nootropic. Honestly, when you take it, you will, in just a few minutes, like 3 3 to 10 minutes, you're going to feel that surge of energy. I took some before my workout last night. I was feeling pretty tired, pretty unmotivated. And man, within 5 minutes, it was like somebody flipped a switch. So if you're interested, you can check it out at strikegum.com. You can pick some up. Of course, you can also become an affiliate member if you're interested in affiliate marketing and that's something you want to do. But otherwise, right, we now ship to the US, Canada, UK, and most of Europe. So thanks to everybody that's already picked up some Strike Gum. Anyway, taking a look at the news, what I thought was really interesting is that also the wartime defense minister, Oleksiy Reznikov, has been fired or resigned and has been replaced with Rustem Umerov, Crimean, actually. And what I thought was really interesting, it's tough to say what the driver is. Sometimes there are allegations of corruption. I haven't seen any reporting like that here. This may simply be the fact that he has been a long-serving defense minister. He's been Minister of Defense since before the Russian invasion. But it may be a case of somebody's head may be rolling. My theory is that the counteroffensive, right? There's no doubt that it has fallen pretty short of expectations, especially from the outset. There was a real belief among U.S. planners that this would be a big lightning sweep and will really break Russian forces, and it hasn't. And I think politically, Zelensky realizes that someone has to fall on their sword, and so I think the decision was made that the Reznikov was going to be that person. That's my theory. Again, I have not party to any sort of internal politicking or anything like that, so it remains to be seen if this is going to result in substantial changes to how things are run. And if more information comes out later about what exactly has driven this resignation. But for now, I think it's probably a generally good thing for Ukraine to shake up its certainly Ministry of Defense leadership. It can definitely potentially bring in a fresh look. Sometimes just fresh eyes for fresh eyes' sake can be a good thing. Anyway, guys, that is all I had for you. Thank you, as always, to our members of CombatVetNews.com, especially our Colonel tier members, as well as our Lieutenant tier members, and all the members of CombatVetNews.com. I couldn't do it without you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.